Hello there, my fellow holotable heroes, and welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. In this one, I'll talk about ships, namely Negotiator mirror matches. So if you are like me, that you're in an old chart and everybody's got pretty much maxed out, some of the most important ships such as Negotiator, Five's ships, Anakin's ships, and so on. What happens is that both Anakin and Negotiator, when maxed out, they have exactly same speed. So what happens is when you enter the battle, you've got 4 ships that have the same speed, which mean that it's total random who goes before the other. And add to that Houndstooth, which again, has this turn meter gain and everything, and sometimes it happens that you usually have like 5 or even 6 ships with full turn meter, and it's like who goes first, who goes next. It's totally random. That's why sometimes these mirror matches can get a bit tricky. So for the past few weeks I was trying out different strategies, different approaches, and I think I finally nailed down the starting sequence that you need to do to win every Negotiator mirror match, as long as your relics are kind of on the similar level. I can't speak going under geared will this strategy work or not. I can only speak for my case, where pretty much everybody got relic ships already. So our speeds and other stats are quite even. But first I want to talk about the key element of Negotiator mirror matches, and it's really something that I haven't heard many people speak about, but it's really the most important thing if you want to get consistent wins in Negotiator mirror matches, and that is Valor buff. Okay, so now let's look at the description of the kit from Negotiator. And as you can see here in Republic Determination, there is the bit about Valor, where there it says Galactic Republic allies deal 10% more damage for each other ally with Valor, doubled for Jedi allies. So what this means is the more ships you have with Valor on the field, the harder they will hit. So it actually stacks. So if you got 4 ships with Valor on them, this means that they will do 30% more damage, because it's for each other ally, not for ally. Okay, and double for Jedi. So for example, Anakin, Ahsoka, they will hit really hard, at any point in time when you have Valor on the battlefield. From this they will get 50-60% extra damage, which is amazing. Now, in addition to boosting damage for your ships, what Valor does is it as well grants allied Galactic Republic ship 15% turn meter every time a ship with Valor takes a turn, as well as reduce cooldown of the ultimate ability by 1 turn. Okay, so this is very important. The more ships you have with Valor, the more turns they take, your Negotiator will be going faster than opponent's Negotiator, and also get faster to the bombing run in the end, which sometimes can be the turning tide in a very close match battle. So okay, these are 2 things that are in Negotiator's kit that Valor really gives you the edge. Now, on top of the bonuses that you get from Negotiator's kit if you have lots of Valor on the battlefield, there's also a bit in Anakin's Starfighter kit. So looking at the description of Surgical Power, here you can see that Jedi and clone allies gain 30% offense, however that is doubled if they have Valor. So let's say you have 4 ships on battlefield, they all have Valor, you're getting 60% more damage from Negotiator's kit, and on top of that, if they're Jedi or clone ally, they get 60% offense. So you're looking at 120% damage boost if you have so many ships with Valor. Now, there are 2 sources of Valor in this fleet. So the first one and most obvious one is Negotiator's AoE, that grants Valor to all Galactic Republic ships. And the second one, again still looking at the Surgical Power kit from Anakin Starfighter. So at the end it says that Anakin Starfighter immediately regains Valor for 2 turns whenever it expires. So this means that once Anakin gains Valor, he'll keep regaining it unless you apply buff immunity on him, of course. Now, the second source of Valor is actually coming from Anakin's basic. So as you can see here in description, whenever Anakin damages target locked enemy, he grants another random ally valor for 2 turns. So he helps spreading valor throughout the battle if you keep hitting enemies with target lock. However, this is not always obvious, because as you can see it says random ally. It doesn't say random ally that doesn't have valor. So sometimes what would happen is you would attack somebody with target lock with Anakin's basic, but nobody would get valor because he would maybe just apply it to 5s that already has it. However, on certain occasions you would see that it would apply, for example, to Houndstooth, and then suddenly all 5s Houndstooth and Anakin have valor. So just to summarize what actually valor does for you: it boosts your damage significantly, it boosts turn meter to Negotiator, so he gets his turns more quickly, and as well as reducing cooldown of his ultimate ability. Now, before we go into battle, I just want to quickly show you my fleet, so that you just see when I'm fighting my opponents that you know what my fleet is, so I don't have to show it before every battle. I'll just show it here once. Okay, so looking at my Y-Wing first, is 4 stars, 5s is Relic 7, Anakin Relic 7, Rex I don't really use in this lineup, Ahsoka is Relic 4, Clone Sarger Gear 12, Plo Koon Gear 11. Now there is obviously one more ship that we use in this lineup, which is Houndstooth, and my Houndstooth is at Relic 1. So as I can see, my starting lineup is quite good. Maybe, you know, Houndstooth is liking only Relic 1. However, my reinforcements are not that great. Okay, Ahsoka is Relic 4, but everybody else are pretty under gear. But that doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, especially Plo Koon, you only need him for his abilities. You don't need him to be more than gear 11, really. Alright, so now it's time to finally jump straight into the battle. Enough of theory. So this is my first opponent: Negotiator Relic 7, Bosk Relic 5, 5's Relic 7, and Anakin Relic 7. So as you can see, opponent's ship is slightly better than mine. His Bosk is higher relic than me. Okay, now it's time to finally jump into the battle, where I will just talk through every move that I make and why I'm making it. And just this sequence, I'm literally every single battle I'm doing it in exact same order, and it really works well for me. Alright, because both my 5s and my opponent's 5s are Relic 7, they have equal speed. It's a flip of a coin who goes first. Now in this case here, my 5s went first. I attack Anakin with 5's basic, try to apply offense down to Anakin so he doesn't do any big hits while I'm waiting for my next move. However, in cases where enemy 5s gets to go first, then what would normally happen is it would target my Anakin, which would then boost turn meter to Anakin, and then he would go straight after opponent's 5s before my 5s goes. Now in that case, I would try and apply buff immunity to enemy Anakin. So not trying to apply buff immunity to Houndstooth, let him taunt, we'll deal with it later. Because Houndstooth has high tenacity when he doesn't have taunt, and it's likely that it will resist this buff immunity many times. However, if you apply buff immunity to opposing Anakin, it means he won't get Valor. And if you go back to Valor, the more ships on the battlefield have Valor, the quicker Negotiator will go and their ultimate cooldown will get increased quicker. So by applying buff immunity on Anakin, only 5s will get Valor when opposing a Negotiator does his AoE. And that's why we'll be able to outrun eventually opposing Negotiator, because they will start only with 1 Valor, whereas we will have 3 ships with Valor. Okay? Alright. Oh, in this case, unfortunately, it resisted offense down. We just applied defense down, so not ideal scenario. Alright, now opposing 5s, as mentioned, will always go after your Anakin. Now the opposing Anakin went. Okay, now it's my Anakin's turn, and as mentioned before, apply buff immunity onto enemy Anakin so it can't gain Valor. Excellent. Alright. As well here, this sounds odd, but do not taunt with Houndstooth. Use his basic to cleanse any debuffs that were put on him. Okay, for now we'll be using Anakin as the tank, because it looks like AI is always programmed to go after the weakest ship on the battlefield. So for now this is Anakin, so they will go all out to Anakin, and that's good because he has unending loyalty, so he will not get killed. Alright, so now opposing Negotiator did the AoE. It applied daze and target lock on all my ships. However, most importantly, only one Valor on 5s. There is no Valor on anybody else, so just pay attention to Valor. Okay, so now it's time for my Negotiator to take a turn. So this might again be odd, but no matter what happens, did my Negotiator go first or enemy Negotiator, I literally never use AoE first. I always use the unending loyalty ability to apply it to 5s and potentially reapply it to Anakin if he lost it. And I save AoE for after I bring reinforcements in, because if I use it now, only 2 of my ships will get Valor, but after I get reinforcements, 3 of my ships will have Valor, which will give me a significant advantage because it will be 3 my ships with Valor opposing to only 1 enemy ships having Valor, so it will give me a significant boost in turn meter and ultimate reduction. Alright. Okay, so now enemy 5's triggered unending loyalty on my Anakin, so he's gone into stealth. So now it's 5's turn again, just keep using basic. I want to save his big AoE for later. They bring in Clone Sergeant. Okay, so now I will target Houndstooth with my Anakin so that he can apply target lock, so that my 5's afterwards can dispel Valor from Houndstooth, because you remember, it's about controlling who has more Valor on the battlefield. Okay, now it's time to bring in my first reinforcements, so I will call in my Gear 11 Plo Koon to dispel all these messy debuffs on my team and as well recover some health and protection. Okay, so now I will use Plo Koon's ability that can add taunt to selected ally, so I will target 5 so he gets taunt up, because Houndstooth will anyway apply taunt by himself, and then I'll have 2 taunting tanks additionally protecting Anakin, so he can't get easily targeted. Okay, now with Houndstooth I will target Clone Sergeant with his special attack, so he gains taunt. You obviously want to try to avoid applying Breach on Houndstooth, because he can just cleanse it and then your Houndstooth can easily lose the taunt. Okay, now I will switch back to Houndstooth and I will dispel Valor on him with 5's basic. There you go, Valor and taunt gone. Okay, so now it's opposing Kenobi's turn, and as you can see, just use its basic, because AI is programmed not to use the unending loyalty special if all ships are in good health. Alright, so no choice but to attack Clone Sergeant. Alright, now it's the big moment. I will use my AoE. And boom, it applied target lock and some dazes on the battlefield, and most importantly, I've got now 3 ships that have Valor, which means more damage, more turn meter boost and so on for me. With all this extra damage in mind, let's see what 5's can do. Boom! Anakin gone, Clone Sergeant gone, 5's almost dead. Now enemy got again taunt, that's fine, we'll cleanse it. And here as well Plo Koon is excellent, because now you've got 3 ships with Valor, and if you use the middle ability from Plo Koon, it boosts turn meter to everybody, which means your allied ships with Valor gets a turn quicker, which means your Negotiator gets to go quicker. Okay, so now here you apply buff immunity on Houndstooth, so you can quickly take him out. Alright, just basic. And as you can see, because I had 3 ships with Valor, my Kenobi already has a second turn before enemy Kenobi has, because of the extra turn meter, so we jumped 1 turn on the enemy. Alright, so I'll bring in my Ahsoka so she can do some big damage hopefully. 70k on non-critical hit, that's pretty good. Alright, enemy bro just managed to bring in reinforcements, so this battle will drag on a bit longer than it should, but it shouldn't be a problem. It's just a case of taking these two guys out and the battle will be over. There you go, Houndstooth is gone. Alright, and Y-Wing, one more hit, boom, battle finished. Now as you can see, the strategy is so efficient that I didn't even get to use my ultimate ability. In most cases that's what happens. You kill enemies so quickly that you don't even get a chance to use your ultimate ability. Okay, then let's look at the next battle I have. Okay, let's first have a look at my opponent. Again, Relic 7 Negotiator, Relic 7 Anakin, Relic 5s, and Relic 7 Bosk, so a very beefy Bosk. But because my 5s is Relic 7, we'll get to go first. Alright, here we go. Again, 5s goes first, target Anakin. Great, this time offense down did stick. Just gonna use basic from Houndstooth to dispel the buffs. Okay, just use basic, save Anakin's AoE for later, because you want to apply target lock to Houndstooth so the 5s can dispel it, apply unending loyalty. Now we can taunt with Houndstooth on his next turn. Alright, again Clone Sergeant as reinforcement. Okay, just use basic from Houndstooth again. Now we'll bring in a Plo Koon, add taunts to 5s. Alright, just use basic from Anakin on Houndstooth to reapply target lock. Now we can dispel Valor on Houndstooth. We have to now keep attacking Clone Sergeant because he's taunting. See, Houndstooth got another turn, so he can reapply taunt and breach. Now we do big AoE. Okay, couple of target locks there. Now here, again I saved Anakin's special attack because enemy Houndstooth has full turn meter. So I wanted to make sure that I applied target lock, so then if enemy Houndstooth puts in a taunt right now, my 5s can finish off Anakin with his AoE because he's target locked. So let's see what will happen. Alright. Okay, so now again, big hit, boom. Again, Clone Sergeant and Anakin are gone. So now we just need to clean up. It'll take a while because both 5s and Houndstooth are quite tanky. Okay, so now I can go ahead and apply buff immunity on Houndstooth. Okay, again bring in Ahsoka to do a nice big hit. So just finish off 5s. And now just a case of killing off Bosk. Now in this battle, I wanted to show this battle because enemy Negotiator did get a bombing run out before me. And why that happened, you may ask. That's because I didn't have an opportunity to apply buff immunity on Anakin in my first turn, straight in the beginning of the battle, because enemy Houndstooth got a taunt out. Whereas in first battle, my Anakin had a chance to apply buff immunity before Houndstooth got a taunt up. And that's why I'm saying that you've got 4 ships with exact same speed, and then you also have Anakin gaining turn meter, Houndstooth gaining turn meter, so the beginning of the battle is always a bit of unpredictable who will go when. So just a good illustration of actually how Valor is important, but unfortunately for my enemy, they've got no ships left to finish me off. Alright, Houndstooth is almost gone, and boom, battle won. Win number 2. Now there's one more battle I want to show you, because I know a lot of people actually use Ahsoka instead of 5s, but I want to show you that this strategy still works even against Ahsoka fleets, so there's not a problem at all. You just do the exact same moves and it's easy to win. So again, looking at my opponent, Relic 7 Negotiator, Relic 5 Bosk, Ahsoka is Relic 7, and Anakin Relic 7 as well. Alright, let's jump into the battle. Same lineup, same strategy. Let's see how it goes. Alright, now my 5s will go first again. And as I said, if your 5s goes first, just use basic on Anakin to apply offense down. There we go. Anakin does AoE. Now do not taunt as before. First move from Houndstooth, just use basic to clean any debuffs. Save taunt for later. Okay. Now enemy Houndstooth, Ahsoka did her thing. Now here, you know, you think like, oh, use AoE because they didn't get to, but no. Save it for later. Trust me on this one. Apply unending loyalty instead. Alright, now enemy did. My Anakin's almost down. Now as always, when Houndstooth gets his second turn, that's when you put a taunt up. Here just use basic again, because we want to dispel now with 5s the Valor on Houndstooth. Alright. Now the first reinforcement is Clone Sergeant again. Okay, now it's time to bring in my reinforcements, which again is Plo Koon, which will cleanse, regain some protection health. Again, apply taunt on 5s. Okay. Now here I switched over to Clone Sergeant because I was worried that if I attack Houndstooth, he will fall below 100% health. Giving 100% turn meter to enemy Anakin, and obviously you want to reduce the number of turns Anakin takes when he has Valor. Alright, just keep attacking Clone Sergeant, that's good. Okay, and now it's my turn to do a big AoE. Let's target Bosk. Boom, boom, boom. Look at these guys, I've got good RNG, 4 target locks at once. Now if this happens, it's game over. Watch this. Come on 5s, do your AoE baby. Boom! Game over. That's why with this strategy actually Ahsoka teams are easier to defeat, because Ahsoka is a lot more squishy than 5s. Because in a lot of cases, okay, I had a crit on Bosk, but in most cases you will not crit Bosk, and 5s as well can take a big hit. So that's why you most cases after 5s AoE you would have Houndstooth and 5s left to finish off, but Ahsoka, she's very squishy, so she'll die off as well. So now as you can see, this strategy works really well. You know, we had for different RNG in all 3 battles. Also last one we had Ahsoka instead of 5s. Now probably the worst RNG I had was in second battle, where I didn't get a chance to apply buff immunity on enemy Anakin. So he was able to gain Valor, which then caused the enemy Negotiator to be able to use Bombing Run before I did. However, it didn't matter, because using this exact strategy that I'm using, step by step, doing exact same thing every time, by the time this happens they only have Houndstooth and potentially 5s left. So even if they do their Bombing Run, I have a full fleet of 5 ships on battlefield. So it doesn't matter really, it's always a win. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Again, apologies for this long and very detailed video, but I've just seen so many Negotiator mirror matches that don't properly actually explain the mechanics and why certain move is happening. They're just like, oh yeah, just use Ahsoka, just target it, just target it, but nobody really explains exactly the mechanics behind the whole battle and gives you the correct exact order. No matter what happens, this is the order you follow and you can get a guaranteed win. Anyway, let me know in the comments below if you try this strategy now, does it work for you or not? Are there any instructions I missed, or is there any extra explanation that you need, and I can do a follow-up video. Now there is also another strategy that I'm working out, trying to use negotiated mirror matcher without using Houndstooth. So make sure to subscribe to get notification once that video is uploaded, because it's coming very soon, and I think, you know, it's really useful to have again a reliable team that you can use in either GA or TW that doesn't use Houndstooth, because then it allows your Houndstooth to be used in another fleet possibly. So again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you stayed to the end of the video, congratulations. I know I talked a lot, but I just felt like it's really important to explain everything in details for those that are interested. So my friends, may the force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one.